So I wanted to it's nice to the hearing, and someone was lingering behind Tyler's grandfather and a group of people as he spoke to Elizabeth. And what he has to say is quite interesting. And foremost, before we play it, I want to just say that his presence in general should interest you, right? Because we have been told by many liars on the internet that Tyler Robinson's family does not support him. To the contrary, they turned him in, remember? They recognized Grandpa's gun on the news. Dad recognized Grandpa's gun on the news. Which is weird because the news did not actually release a photo of Grandpa's gun. They just released a photo of something similar. Anyways, the story goes, according to the lawyers, that they then convinced him to turn himself in. They think their son's guilty. That they're going to testify against him. And I have told you from the very beginning that that is simply not true. His father does not believe that he did it. His grandmother has spoken to journalists, and she said that she does not believe that he did it. And also, I should say, Sheriff Brooksby did admit that the truth is that Tyler Robinson was essentially coerced to go in. Word is that comes in to bang down the door and hold him, hold a weapon to his face, and put his parents at risk. Then he better do things the easy way. I guess the question here is, what does his grandfather think? Because he knows that gun. It's his gun, right? It's a family heirloom. It is his gun, or was his gun, before it was passed down to Tyler Robinson. So he knows that weapon better than anyone. Let's take a listen, and of course I'm accounting for sound. We've tried to use AI, bring the voices up, and we'll get rid of the background sound. Here's what his grandfather had to say briefly at the hearing.
What are you going to I'm really sorry for this. Yeah, it's tough for you guys. Yeah, I think your interest is absolutely great, but I'm really doing this so on the journey. And your plans I can tell you that you're very right. That's why, yeah.
My dad was
Yeah. Of course, but...
Well, hold up. It says that he is here to support. He's here to support his grandson. Seems like he is of the same opinion as Tyler Robinson's grandmother, that he did not do this, and he was not capable of doing this. And for clarity, Grandpa asserts that he himself is a hunter. He also says that his father, that would be Tyler Robinson's great-grandfather, was a cop for a while, and that he taught him ballistics. And he says that is not what a 30-06 would do. That is evident to everyone. Everyone keeps focusing, of course, for a big reveal, but the 30-06 did not go through. What you're missing is it also did not cause any significant damage. Okay? They had tried to, early on, people that were in the hospital, making phone calls to various people and saying that Charlie's, basically, he almost had no neck left. That was untrue. Those early phone calls that went out to various people, who I will not name because obviously I was in communication with many people that day, spoke on the phone, were the ones that got phone calls from the hospital. Initially, they were telling people that Charlie basically had no neck left. That was a huge lie. The first side of the wound, Charlie was in very good shape. And yes, Granddad, that is not what a 30-06 would do. So we're looking at all the situation, everything that's happened coming into this now probable cause hearing, which is supposed to happen in May, and which they are now meeting in the hearing, as they did on Friday, to say, no, we're not ready to meet in May, because we're not being given what we're asking for. So first, let's recap what a probable cause hearing is, right? It's important that you understand what a probable cause hearing is, and you will recall, you can go back in my older episode, you will recall that after my sit down with Erica, I dutifully reported to you all that when I asked Erica what evidence she had, Tyler Robinson, I convinced her that Tyler Robinson had committed this crime, since she had been publicly representing that she was so confident that he was the guy. She was telling Mary Weiss, yes, 100%. My assumption was that Erica and her counsel had access to more information in the public, right? That was my assumption. Something that was a slam dunk, like a video of Tyler Robinson, very clear video of that type by Tyler Robinson, all this grainy nonsense.
He's the one pacing down in front of the coffee table. It's as if he's having to work up the courage to find his own.
Maybe a video of him taking the shot, right? That would make me, as the widow, say I am 100% certain that's the guy. Something along those lines would have gone a very long way in terms of explaining her certainty. She expressed throughout multiple media interviews, actually. To my shock, she phoned her lawyer, as I told you, and he explained that actually they had nothing more than the public had. And then he went through great pains to explain to me, very slowly, what exactly a probable cause hearing was, because he was kind of making it seem like, oh, well, we don't have more than the public has. Don't you know how this thing works? And he explained to me that they were in a period where the state was supposed to go out and find the evidence. So they don't have any evidence yet. Remember, this is December 15th. I'm sitting down with them. No, we don't have any evidence more than the public has, but we're now in the period where the state is going to go find the evidence. And then once they find that evidence, he told me they're going to hand it over to the defense. They're going to hand it over to Tyler Robinson's team so that they could prepare arguments. They get to see the evidence and prepare arguments. Of course, you're the defendant. And then they present probable cause hearing. That is what I was told by Erica's lawyer on December 15th. So to put it in layman terms, the goal for the prosecution in this probable cause hearing is to say, Your Honor, look at all this evidence that we have gathered. That's our guide. There is, in fact, probable cause for us to continue this case. There's enough proof that that young man should continue to be held in prison as this trial moves forward. And if you're playing defense, the goal is the exact opposite. The goal is to say, Your Honor, the evidence they have presented is actually fraudulent. These are text messages. Yeah, they're fake. These are just, they made these on AI, and here's the proof. So yeah, it might be relevant that the recent public hearing for the continuance, we learned from Tyler Robinson's team that they can't actually make any arguments on the defense because the FBI is refusing to hand over the evidence that they have been requesting for this supposed to be probable cause evidentiary hearing, okay? All the FBI is giving is their summary reports. I, Kash Patel, say that this is the gun. Love cashier. Take a listen to Tyler Robinson's defense attorney, Richard Novak, explain that, yeah, they have summary reports, but we don't have the data, the proof, the chain of custody to show that any of this is real. Take a listen.
What is actually outstanding is, yes, but most importantly, the data, the electronic quantification, digitization of physical evidence taken from our client and certain objects that leads these forensic examiners to conclude that there are evidence. Mr. McBride says, there's two different things, and so they're both right because they each independently reach the same conclusion, but they're testing different objects in different labs. We don't even have those data. Without those data files, we can't even start to analyze, to understand, to appreciate the conclusions, the statistical analyses, the results of those tests. So yeah, the bench notes and the protocols that were followed, yeah, that's all important. But we don't even have the data for this. And there's no reason that I am aware of that has been provided by the ATF and the FBI. First of all, the ATF, why they provided it, the last 3 weeks, and why the FBI still hasn't. And so I don't think it's going to be a dribble of this and that and some. It should have all been produced, some of it 6 months ago, because we have DNA reports from September of 2025 that Mr. Gray relied upon for his information.
They instantly came out and said, this is our guy, 33 hours. And they were basing it on evidence, and for some reason they are unable to get that evidence over to the defense. Now, it actually gets worse because the prosecution, we learned, is planning to present 35 exhibits at probable cause hearing. 35, let's call that pictures, if you will. Which will, of course, we can assume include the text messages that they very early on released to the public. Right? The ones that sounded like they fell out of a Jane Austen novel. I love this, that, I did everything, A to Z. We were first told that those were Discord messages, but now they are text messages. And you're about to hear Kathy Nestor assert, another person on Kyle Robinson's team, that they have not yet even been given access to Kyle Robinson's phone. Could you imagine going into a hearing and they're going to be like, look at these text messages, this proves you did it. You didn't even get access to your client's phone. So I'm assuming, obviously, they took his phone. Take a listen to her say that.
I also have not been able to get into my client's phone. The electronics that we have require an expert to, because they're so massive, we had to all get these huge hard drives shipped to us from our digital expert. I have not looked at my client's phone, and that concerns me, especially because the state's indicated they may call individuals uniquely connected with my clients. I'm not going to say who guys call. We've been given the names of some witnesses they may call, and what is my client's phone? I think it's going to be really important.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really important too, because that's what everybody has been saying is the slam dunk proof. He confessed in all of these messages. I'm going to bring up Tyler and Swiggs to talk about these messages that he received, and the defense can't prepare any arguments because they have no forensic information regarding whether, was Lance holding both phones at the same time and texting himself? Did it actually happen on Discord? Did it happen on the phone at all? They make up these text messages entirely. The feds make them up. They could make up screenshots right now and claim that these were real messages, but only an expert, a forensic expert that's given access to electronics to determine if they were real, where they were sent from, all of it out of a location to make sure everything is authentic. Now, remember, this is a state case. Essentially waiting, the defense is waiting that the FBI is waiting for the FBI National Health Agency to send or a discovery request for they're just not doing it to the type of action just give you a picture. This is the gun. They're playing fire. Here's a picture again. Just trust. Very much trust. Take this. same time, I have never, in all of my personal experience, even when the lawyers hated each other, okay, like my lawyers did not get along with the other lawyers, okay, one in particular, really not like him. Always just common courtesy. Yeah, we can bump it into something that works for all sides. Seriously, we're gonna get to the truth and the conclusion here. We don't need to like try cheap shots and like, oh yeah, I can't honor the fact that you have a surgery or someone has a surgery on that day or this is going on, whatever it is. So this is in fact extraordinary. It's extraordinary. The prosecution is arguing this, especially since they all early on that they were happy to adjust the dates if they did not get a discovery event. Okay. So it's also been addressed Prince Erica was certainly reported to us in the trial today. It's an institution defendants in cases required to submit a trial. To note this and probably Erica is in fact listed as the official victim in this case. On January 16th, she had filed a motion for a small trial which had serious incidents of corruption, litigation of civil rights, and keenly under our purposes is this is a cemetery. State of Utah has its own so anytime it's changing, it introduces us from Mississippi. So that's what she's able to do. I'm going to file a new medical list of the city, fencing, and yelling, yeah, man, he is right away. So I'm going to keep as fast as possible. So I was wondering, why is Erica needing to assert something that is he did everything with the intention of this hearing. It just makes sense to me. This is what I'm strategy.
Your aim is
transparent and command accuracy and show hearing essentially with the defense completely unable to meaningfully counter any of the neighbors at 20. They would be out there. Look at these text messages, Your Honor. Look at the case. He did it 3 times. And he did this. is sort of a system. Just get paid journalists and influencers to pretend that they're anxiety-induced and the evidence isn't there. That works like yourself. I don't know any good people playing in that way. But you can see we are in Generation I, right here for this generation. This is uncertainty, and yeah, it's hurting. And it's hurting. She canceled.
If you was allowed to treat black folk with this week,
she knows policy, she knows what she's doing. She is in fact, just based on intellect and experience. She that's not crazy. It's not her just being given around. It's her. It would only be more key to students like that. They're going to be entirely different. Especially like being gaslit, being told that she's going to be she says to me, she says precedent trials of ivermectin and methimazole has shown success in triggering cancer cell death, which wakes up the immune system and initiates an immune response while hindering blood supply to tumors. At the Wellness Company, you can order it right from your home. It's a USA compounded, doctor-prescribed ivermectin and methimazole that is designed to help the body eliminate parasites with proven off-label cancer-fighting benefits. Each bottle contains 90 capsules, enough to complete 4 21-day cleanses. All you need to do is fill out a quick intake form, the doctor reviews it, and your medical-grade parasite cleanse arrives in a week. So head to twc.health/Candace or visit twc.health and use code Candace at checkout to get $90 off your order and to receive free shipping. Again, that's twc.health/Candace. Also, have to remind you guys about Tax Network USA, because maybe you owe back taxes, or you've not filed tax returns, or you have every year keep owing. Maybe you retired and suddenly you got hit with a tax bill you didn't expect, or you pulled money from your 401k or IRA early, and now the IRS wants its share. Your taxes you started the
You've talked about the need to send a message to opponents beyond winning or losing. You didn't get the win tonight. What message do you think you sent?
One of the least attractive and talented people on all of television, Jessica Tarlov. Voice is
we just didn't do enough to win the game. For whatever reason, the energy just wasn't there tonight. Only silver lining is when the problem's coming from inside the house, you can fix it. So that's what we're going to do.
That's right, MP. Thank you so much. Back to you, Brian.
And now they've been exposed. President DJT. He's definitely not writing. He's just, you guys, this isn't even how he speaks. This is not how he speaks. So I don't know who has access to this feed, but it's not Trump. Okay? It's just not Trump. He had a second tweet as well, a follow-up where I think he called me mentally ill. Mentally ill. Poor Megan Duggan, she didn't get named that time. Sorry, Megan. Looks like you're dying fast. I got called like 3 names over the weekend. You've only got called 2. So, I'm big time now. But it makes you wonder who is actually drafting these messages. Who even are Trump's advisors anymore? He used to be surrounded by sane and rational people. Now he is accusing people like.
Hello? What's up? Hello? Hello? I said hello.
And Tucker and Meghan of being irrelevant and mentally ill. Meanwhile, Laura Loomer claims she is his #1 advisor, and she speaks to him almost daily. And that right there might be the biggest clue as to why Trump is behaving like he is off the rails, right? It's kind of like you eventually just become the people that you spend your most time with, and you spend your most time speaking to, right? You become an average. And so Charlie Kirk went from, President Trump went from Charlie Kirk, right? Charlie Kirk and his ear to Laura Loomer. And I think you guys need to more fully grasp not just who Laura Loomer is, but what Laura Loomer is, okay? I met Laura Loomer years ago. I was on the way to one of my first events, the David Harbour Center. We happened to be on the same plane. She was crying because Twitter had removed her check marks back when Jack Dorsey had it. Since we lived nearby, I was friendly with her. Never had an issue with her because I just don't see a reason to start with people and have issues with people. We're a bunch of crazy people, and I felt very sad for her too because she was sort of living in a rented basement in Westchester by herself, and she didn't have any friends that could take her to go get her wisdom teeth out. She asked me.
I see you out there doing work.
Right. And I never shared that story because I felt sad for her. She had no friends and no family in her life that could pick her up after a procedure that she needed to get done. I did that, right? And don't worry, because her differing opinion on Israel is going to be the reason that she starts attacking me. Now, the first thing that you should know about Laura Loomer is that people who say Laura Loomer is crazy, they're not being funny, right? Laura Loomer is genuinely crazy. We're going to get into that. She's not even Jewish. Her entire identity as being a feisty Jewess is something that she made up around 2019. She told me that she was not Jewish. She also told me that she is not Jewish. Her mother is a woman named Joanne Singe. Laura is Irish and English. Obviously, Judaism is matrilineal. She was not raised in temple. She was not at mitzvahs. She just decided that it was politically expedient to pretend that she was Jewish. She only learned how to draw the Star of David a couple of years ago when she was running for Congress. Okay, here's a clip of her learning to draw a Star of David a couple of years ago. This is your #1 Zionist on news. This clip.
Very good. Now, once identical.
What's up? Nothing. Go where? I won't go no pack. Oh. Nothing. I'll go some stuff for you. I'll go some stuff for you. I'll be there. Bye.